What's going on YouTube? This is Sanitary 103 once again. Here's my back and bicep routine that I'm showing. So the first exercise that I perform are pull-ups. I do 3 sets to failure. On the first set, I typically get at least 15 repetitions in. The second, about 10, and the last set, 5 or 6. Here is set number 2 that I recorded. Now, if you can't do pull-ups, it's not a big deal. This piece of equipment actually has a machine-assisted apparatus right by the knee area that I removed because I don't need it. But if you're new to pull-ups and you don't have as much upper body strength, definitely use the machine-assisted weight. Here's the final set that I recorded. And on the way up, you want to make sure you squeeze at the top to make sure you get a nice good burn. At this point, my lats are on fire, my shoulders are on fire. I'm pretty tired, but I'm definitely trying to get that last repetition in right there. Off to the next exercise. Right here are lateral pull downs. And on this exercise, I usually do at least 4 to 5 sets. I start off with a more heavier weight initially, and then I gradually work my way down. So right here, this is 135 pounds, I believe. You want to make sure you get a nice good squeeze on the way down. Now you see some guys, they put up a lot of weight and they rock their entire body in a herky-jerky motion. You definitely don't want to do that. Here is the second set that I recorded. Now regarding grip, you don't want to bring your hands too close nor too far. If you bring them in too close, you will be incorporating more of your triceps as opposed to your laterals. And if you bring your grip too far out, you might put extra strain on your shoulder. So just make sure you keep that in mind. Here is one of the drop sets that I recorded. Now, one thing you'll notice is on the way down, the bar definitely goes at least to chin level, if not a little bit further. And by doing this, you definitely get a better squeeze and a better workout on your lats. Some guys don't even bring the bar even close to their nose, which means the weight is too heavy and you're not getting the best workout possible. Off to the next exercise. These are bent over rows. I usually start off with a warm-up set followed by 2 sets of increased weight. Once I do that, I usually drop set for a few more sets for a combined total of about 5 or 6 sets. And during each set, I try to get at least 6 to 8 repetitions in. A quick mention about form. If you notice my feet, I keep them slightly bent. And with the grip, I make sure I squeeze towards the lower abdomen and hip flexor area, such as right there. And another quick thing you want to be conscientious about is that when you squeeze towards your abdomen, you want to be aware of trying to put your chest out and your butt out. So always keep that in mind. Moving right along to deadlifts, I do a total of 4 sets. The first set being a warm-up set, which you see right here. With the remaining sets, I gradually increase the weight, and with each set, I do a minimum of 6 to 8 repetitions. Here's another set that I recorded. Now, as far as technique goes, there are a lot of different variants with this exercise. For instance, if you notice my grip, it's a standard grip. It's a little past shoulder width length. There are a lot of different grips, but this is a standard one that I use. I keep my feet pretty close to shoulder width apart. And another important thing you want to do is you want to get in the habit of making sure you look in the mirror as you go on the negative, because if you look down too much, you may throw out your back. Here is set number 3, an alternate view, so you get a better feel for what's going on. One other thing I wanted to point out is if you notice on the negative on the way down, I do slightly bend my knees as I'm pulling the bar up. Now, I think I bend my knees a little bit more than other people, but this is just going by how I feel. Now, if you don't bend your knees at all, you will throw out your back. So if you're new to deadlifting, you want to make sure you start off with a very light weight and then get a better feel for it. Here is the last set that I recorded at 185 pounds. Now, one quick thing I wanted to mention regarding technique is with your feet, you want to get in the habit of trying to drive your feet into the floor, keeping it flat. Some people actually even go barefooted. By doing this, you actually incorporate more of your legs as well as your lower back, and you get a better workout. Off to dumbbell curls, I do a total of 4 sets. The first 3 sets, I use the same weight, and on the last set, I drop set down to a lighter weight and burned out. Now, technique-wise, if you notice my back, I'm not swaying too much because you do want to incorporate your biceps. And if you notice my elbows, I do keep them tucked in, so you don't want to bow them out too much. Here's another set that I recorded. One quick mention is if you notice my palms, they are facing outward the entire time. I know some guys prefer to have them inwards and turn them inwards on the positive, such as right there, but I prefer to keep them outwards the entire time to get a better burn. This next exercise is machine T-bar rows. I do a total of 5 sets, 6 to 8 repetitions. And with this particular exercise, I actually start off with a heavier weight on the first set, and with each set afterwards, I gradually decrease the weight, aka I do drop sets. Here is footage of the 4th and 5th set. A couple people had asked what exactly is a drop set, so instead of rambling on and on and on, I'm going to show you right here. So once you finish a certain exercise, you basically take the weight off and you go lighter without too much rest in between. You jump right back on and then you start lifting the lighter weight. And even though the weight is lighter, it's going to feel quite heavy because your rest is pretty minimal. So I do take a few breaths right here and then I just go and I knock it out for this final exercise and set. And it burns a lot at this point. Those 45s feel pretty heavy. You want to make sure that you squeeze on the way up right there. You want to keep your back straight as well. And last but certainly not least are straight barbell curls. Now I do a total of 4 sets. I start off with the heavier set on the first one, and then I gradually decrease the weight with each set afterwards. Technique wise, once again, you want to keep the elbows inwards and not rock your back too much. I usually start off the first set with 50-pound or 60-pound barbell, but it was taken, so I had to improvise with the 40, but you get the picture. And that about wraps it up. If you like this routine, be sure to check out my chest and shoulder routine as well as my leg and tricep routine by clicking on the link above. Thank you once again for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.